I remember the first Unravel more for its adorable protagonist and lush setting than as a puzzle platformer, but Unravel 2 goes a long way to change that, tabling a more accomplished, demanding platformer with puzzles to match. The most immediately noticeable change is the addition of a second playable Yarny. The entire story can still be tackled solo, which I did without ever feeling at a disadvantage. And when playing alone, you can quickly entwine the two, meaning platforming sections only have to be tackled once, thankfully. It's an elegant little mechanic that works really well, even if the image of their spliced beings is ever so slightly harrowing. That being said, there are a couple parts that I can certainly imagine being easier or more elegant with a partner, but it never feels mandatory. Yarny's abilities remain the same. He, she, it can swing, rappel, ascend, lasso objects, and by tying knots, create bridges, pulleys, and trampolines. There are no new major abilities to single out, but it's the addition of a second Yarny that adds depth to these existing ones. For instance, either character can function as a movable anchor point, allowing the other to navigate otherwise impassable obstacles. At its best, it feels like you're mountaineering through the undergrowth. Playing solo, this requires some satisfying character switching, but in co-op, this mechanic takes on a new dimension. It becomes more stressful and much funnier. Since a button must be held for Yarny to anchor his fellow explorer, and must be released at just the right moment for a jump to be made, it's essential players coordinate their actions. The story's puzzles are challenging, though I was never really stumped, and even if you do get stuck, the sequels added a pretty robust hint system to help out. Platforming is also improved. Yarny now feels much more responsive, and it feels great to nail a sequence of swinging jumps accompanied by such a joyful score. The story unfolds in 7 beautifully detailed levels, taking in verdant forests and grim urban locations, and they take roughly 20 to 30 minutes apiece. Behind Yarny, an ambiguous story unfolds, which, from what I can infer, traces the story of 2 teenagers who escape from a care home and go on an adventure that leads them into danger. It's pretty opaque, and while it occasionally adds atmosphere, it offers little else. It's much less emotionally involving than seeing Yarny in the foreground being chased by a deranged chicken. Outside of the core story missions are 20 additional challenge levels, which are a fantastic addition. These are exceptionally fiendish, ranging from Super Meat Boy style platforming gauntlets that will take dozens of attempts to master to head-scratching self-contained puzzles. Unlike the core game, some of these challenges definitely benefit from having a second player. Completing these ordeals not only nets you pride, but customization options for Yarny. While its core story might not have the emotional punch of the original, Unravel 2 improves upon it in every other respect. The platforming is more responsive and demanding, while the puzzles are far more inventive and satisfying. A lot of this is down to the excellent implementation of a second playable character. While it works well as a solo adventure, it's far more enjoyable if played with a friend. And despite its oh-so-cute appearance, the generous helping of brilliant challenge levels confirm that Unravel 2 was made by a talented group of sadists. If you want to know more about Unravel 2, you can watch the first 24 minutes or see what else EA had in its E3 press conference.